your heavy breathing and farting, and so I'm going to mute you all except me now. Is that okay? Anything else? And Spotlight won't be recorded. Spotlight, you're recording this meeting. Make sure everyone you know is happy with that. This is so I can send it to you. Now, here we go. Everybody's on mute except Alison, who is now on mute. Brilliant. Shall we start? Right. Right. Here we go. This is my first time trying to record a Zoom meeting. You wouldn't believe it. I've got lights up everywhere. Incredible. So thank you for coming, everybody. And tonight it's going to be a very different type of class because you know me, I like to multitask and I like to do as many things at once so we can work as many muscles at the same time. But I want you to think about isolating muscles tonight. So in other words, if I ask you to use your tricep, I don't want you to be screwing your face up and doing anything else. I just want you to relax everything else and just use your tricep. And the same will apply with your bum, with your, we're going to start at the top of the head. Somebody else is joining. Let's hope that's Georgia can get in now. So we're going to start at the top.
Be with you in a minute, Carol.
Who said that?
Zoom.
I'm going to
Jilly, I'll be with you in a minute.
Okay.
Carry on, I can hear you.
I am just muting everybody. Great. So we're not doing all the mobility at the beginning. We're going to work each muscle group one at a time. We probably won't get all the way to the bottom. And we're going to do a work for it. And then we're going to stretch it. And then we're going to move on to the next body part. So we're going to do one exercise for each body part and one stretch. And we've never done that before either. Okay. So, but we have got to set up because we have to do that at every single class. Okay. So you start with your feet together, as we always do. Turn your toes out at 10 to 2 and lift your heels behind, making sure that your feet are facing the front. Every so often, I know some of your feet sort of slip away and you end up here. Just remind yourself to bring your toes back. Now lengthen your neck and take your shoulders down and back. And why is that light flicking? Shoulders down and back. Now we want a neutral spine. Remember this, tipping your pelvis. And now make that movement smaller and smaller until you stop in the middle. And take your arms back down by your side. Now we want to breathe through the ribs. So you inhale, and as you inhale massively, your fingertips should come apart because you're leaving your core engaged. So can you see my fingertips coming apart? And as I exhale, they come back together. Keep that movement going and then try it with your hands down by your side. So you inhale massively and exhale massively. Now to engage the core, just think about putting your hand on your belly here, cough, and as you cough, bring it in. So it's not a massive movement, but it is very difficult to hold it for a long time, isn't it? None of it, and I don't know anybody that can. And the final thing is bringing your pelvic floor up. So despite when I said we're isolating the muscles and only using one muscle, at the same time, you have got to still have your shoulders down and back and your neck lengthened and your neutral spine and your core engaged and your pelvic floor lifted and a smile on your face. So you've only got to do all that. Okay, so instead of mobilizing now, we're going to move straight on to the neck. But before we start, just have any of you got any injuries or anything that I don't know about? Just go like that if you haven't, because I can't hear you. Fantastic. And anybody who's on Facebook or Instagram, please remember, this is the only body you've got. Do not abuse it. Only do what you can. And none of these exercises should hurt. And if they hurt, you're doing it wrong. So you need to come and see me really and do a one-to-one rather than just watching a video. It's great what we can see on YouTube, etc. But if you don't have instruction to go with it and you're just following any old, you're going to hurt yourself. And I don't want that at all. Although actually it would bring me clients to fix you. Okay, so we're going to work the neck first. Now, a lot of us have started going a little bit like that, and I include me as well, because we spend so much time like this or at our desk. So we need to have our shoulders back, and we need the neck lengthened. And then to really strengthen this back muscle here, I want you to put both hands behind your head like this. And then I want you to push your hands forward, but resist with your head. So there's that battle going on. And hold it for 3 full breaths. So inhale, pushing against your hands, pushing, pushing, and exhale. Inhale, pushing against your hands, and exhale. And one more time, and you should be feeling the muscles working. Inhale and then exhale. And relax and give it a wobble. We're going to do that one more time. So you put your hands at the back of your head, and I'm pushing my head back and resisting with my hands. Really forcing it. You can't see any movement, so I'm not doing it from here or here. I'm right slap bang in the middle. 3 full Pilates breaths. And relax. Give it a wobble. Same at the front. You need one palm of your hand to push against your forehead. And in your setup position, push the head back but resist. So now you're using all these muscles at the front of the neck, the sternocleidomastoids. Are you there, Julie? I can't see you. And I can't hear you, of course. Keep going. 3 full Pilates breaths. Oh, she's not here. 3 full Pilates breaths. And then relax and give the head a wiggle. And same again. So we're going to do 2 of each. You feel those neck muscles working, you can feel them as well. And relax and give the head a wobble. And now we're going to do side to side. So push my hand on the side of my face. And I'm not over here. Let me just let somebody in. Push against your palm of your hand and resist. Just let somebody in. Where did you go? Where did you go?
I disappeared. Carry on. I'll be there in a sec.
I'm just going to mute you, Jilly, if you don't mind.
Yep. Yes, fine. I'll mute as well.
Thank you. And is that 3? Then we change sides and do the other side. I've lost somebody. 5, it should be 6. Okay, push, push, push. Can you feel the muscles working? In fact, if you put your fingers there, feel that muscle. Massive, isn't it? So you can see why whiplash affects you so much, because these are actually quite big muscles. And relax and give it a wobble. Final one. So I don't know if you heard, Jilly, but what we're doing is we're strengthening the muscle by using a big exercise, and then we're relaxing it off by stretching it. So the best stretch for the neck, imagine your nose, draw a small circle with your nose. Everything is small first, and then make it as big as you like. And all these stretches you can do at any time. So I don't know why you're there, Jilly. And then change direction. Now concentrate on, is nothing else moving? Can't seem to move your block, Jilly. You've got a square on my screen that you've just, and I can't get rid of it.
I don't know why that would be. I'm down the bottom of your screen on mine.
So am I a big person in the middle?
You're a very big person.
You're blocking Alison out and I can't see her. That's it. Perfect.
Okay.
So Andrea's just joined. Hi, Andrea. Yeah. Oh, this is weird. We need to be. You're gone. Okay, so now you've strengthened your neck and now you've stretched it off. How does that feel? That should feel really nice. We're going to come back to the shoulders in a minute because it's a lot of explaining to do. So now we're going to do the chest. The best chest exercise is press-ups, but press-ups with wide arms, and that's when you get your best chest exercise. Now, if you don't want to do press-ups on the floor, remember you can do them against a wall. You can do them on a chair like this. But I know the one you all know and love is on the floor. So you go into your box position, and I'm just looking at Andrew. Hi there, Andrea. Hello. I can see you, Andrea. Can you see me, Andrea? Can you hear me?
It's only It's ridiculous, isn't it? I can't remember that 5 hours.
Right, press-ups. We're doing them on the floor. We're doing wide press-ups because we want to work the chest now. So you go into a box position and you take your hands wide, and without moving the back up or down, you take your chin down in between the line between your thumbs. And that is your press-up. I know a lot of you know the progressions to that press-up. So you do your press-up. Andrea, can you hear me now?
Yes, thanks.
Fantastic. So you've come in, do you know how to do press-ups, Pilates press-ups?
Yeah.
Right, I'll talk you through them, but here we go. You've not got any injuries that I need to know about, have you?
No.
Super. Okay, so we're in a box position on the floor. Take your hands wide, your neck's lengthened, all your body's set up. So you've got your neutral spine, and you've got your neck lengthened, and you've got your core engaged, pelvic floor lifted, and you take your chin down towards the floor and back up in that speed. So it's 4 beats down, 4 beats up. Looks good. Right. That's it. Well done. So Andrea, because what you just missed is we're going to work one muscle hard and then stretch that muscle, which is something quite different. And then we move to a new muscle. So we work that hard and then stretch it, instead of doing all the work and then all the stretches. So when we're doing the chest stretch, press up specifically for the chest, which is what we're going to work now, you have your hands really wide. Okay. So try those with wide arms. And I know some of you are in ski slope, and I know some of you are doing full press-ups, and I know some of you are doing halfway house. I'm just muting you now, Andrea, so that you can't hear each other. So your knees are hip distance apart. That's it. Thank you. If you get cramp in your toes because you've got your foot flat on the floor, then curl your toes under. Lovely job. Hi Pam, and hi Lynn, and hi Emma. Okay, so my press-ups, I have my feet, my knees off the floor, my legs very wide, core engaged, floor engaged. Exhale down, inhale back up. That's the speed we want. You can have your knees on the floor if your back starts to dip at all, because if your back is dipping, you're not doing it any good at all. That's lovely. Keep the neck lengthened so you don't dip the head, but that's it. So you don't dip the head down. It's the chest that goes. Well done. So chest press-ups with the arms wide are very hard, but I actually like them better. I like them. From the front, it looks like this. So I'm in a box position, my hands are very wide, My chest is going down to the floor. What I'm not doing is dipping my head. So the whole thing is in a straight line. Out from the side, it looks like this. Smashing. If you've had enough of those, just come up onto your knees. Clasp your hands behind your back. Take your hands down your back and over your bum as far as you can, which really opens up the chest that you've just been working. And breathe. And as you breathe, you will feel your chest muscles stretch even more. So while you're stretching, Facebook, thank you very much. Instagram, thank you very much. If you want to do the full class in future, I'm afraid you're going to have to request a link. But for now, I shall say goodbye. And goodbye. Share to ITV. Save. There we go. Right, so now we're going to carry on and we're going to go back to the shoulders because I needed this, that's why. La la la. So we're doing HIIT for the shoulders. Now, Andrea, all these girls have done this loads and loads of times. And it's a bit of a killer, I'm afraid. But then they're all a killer. What's the point in doing it if it's not a killer? So what we're doing is HIIT timing. We're going to do 30 seconds work, 10 seconds rest, which is quite a killer because we're doing it 8 times. And I will show you what they are. So we're isolating our shoulders. So your body's relaxed and your arms are out long and strong. And we're going to be patting the floor for 30 seconds. Sounds easy, but what people tend to do then is they get tired and the shoulders creep up. So we've got to keep the shoulders down and the whole arm works. Okay. So this is my timer, which I hope you can see. Can you see that, girls and boys? Right. We've got 10 seconds to have a little think about it, and then we are in business. It's killer. Okay, patting the floor. Patting the floor. While you're there, think about your neck lengthened. Oh, sorry, mine not got my feet to get distance apart. Neutral spine. Neck lengthened, core engaged, pelvic floor lifted. Don't ask for much, do I? Can you see the clock? So red is work, green is rest. Oh, blue is rest. Shake your arms off. The next one is patting the ceiling. So from the side on, it looks like this. Whole arm. I can tell if you're using your whole arm, because if you're not using all these muscles, then your bingo wings flap. If you're using all the muscles, then they don't. Lovely job. Oh, it looks easy, doesn't it? It's just wait about 2 or 3 minutes and then we'll know how hard it is. So it's quite a fast, if you can see me, quite a fast beating of the arms. So mine are aching already. We're a quarter of the way through. This time we're beating the front of the room. So we're here this fast, making sure that the shoulders don't creep up. So I'm going forward like this, Andrea. Hands forward. So it's not about the hands or the wrists. It's as stiff as a board. It's like you've got a pole all the way up and along the other side. Shoulders down and back. Core engaged. Pelvic floor lifted. Woo, good. 3 down, 5 to go. And this helps. And now the hardest one, we're patting the back of the room. So keeping your arms at shoulder height, they want to droop down here now, but we're keeping them up. And in 20 seconds time, we're halfway through. So I know I can't, oh George, who is that? I know, Andrea, it's killer. Oh. Wow, halfway through though, come on guys, we've done it, halfway. Back to the beginning now, patting the floor. Shoulders still down and back. Some of you frozen or you've stopped working. Wow. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Oh. Ah. Oh, that's killer. And luckily I'm doing it right because it is only my shoulders hurting. Nothing else is hurting. Now we're going to be patting the ceiling. So it's like this. Which looks like this. Crikey. Well, I bow down to you in long sleeves, you two, because I couldn't, I'm boiling. So I'm seeing some pushing now because it's got hard. So try and keep your arms straight, because when you're pushing, you're using different muscles. Whoa, only two more. Next one is patting the front. Gosh. Patting the front of the room. And you've got to think, when we finish this one, we've only got 30 more seconds work. And we have got a really good stretch after. Oh my word. Oh. That's killer, isn't it? 4. Last one, patting the back of the room. There we go. Just keep thinking, this is the last bit. Last bit, last bit, last bit. Oh my word. Breathe, breathe. Oh my God. Oh, flipping it. Right, shoulder rolls are absolutely critical now. Oh. Brilliant. Crikey, well done. Turn that off. Is everybody okay? Give me the thumbs up if you're okay. So this is actually a little bit of a thing. Andrea's new to me and new to my classes, but she's done Pilates before. So if you've got any questions, you can unmute yourself, Andrea. No problem. Right, well, the best stretch we're going to do for our shoulders. Arms out in front, palm to palm. Put one arm behind and gently, gently, gently pull it across without turning the body. Because if you're turning the body, you're doing a waist stretch. Whereas we are doing a shoulder stretch. Can you feel it stretching exactly there? And we're holding this, holding it and holding it. So when we stretch, so every time you use a muscle, you contract it. And what the stretching is doing is releasing it off. And it's releasing it to the length it was before you started, and then beyond that. So now change sides. Right, what I forgot to put in the message was, anybody, can you grab a tea towel, a towel, anything, grab a dishcloth, anything you can get your hands on right now. There we go. I managed to find this. Have you managed to get something? Brilliant. Well, oh, good one. Right, so what we're going to do now is the lower arms. So it's your hands and all your lower arms. So whatever you've managed to grab, we need it a bit like this. And then all you're going to do is keep screwing and screwing and screwing. When you get to the last one, this is where the work and the magic happens. So from the side, it's like this. And now I'm really screwing that one way. So I'm pulling back with this hand and pushing over with that one. Anybody who's ridden a motorbike will know exactly what I'm talking about, Alison. Feel these forearms working like mad now. Ooh. And we're holding it there. And breathe. In for 4. And out for 4. Imagine it's somebody's neck that you really could do with doing this to today. And relax it off, shake your hands. We have to do it the other way now. So you grab it there and pull it back the other way. I'm not used to this silence, that's the only problem. And release it off. And we're going to do the same, one more each side. So really screw it tight now. I'm going to even make it even worse for myself. I have to say the weakest part of my body, I reckon, are my hands. So this exercise is also very, very good for that. And release it, and then the same the other way. You know, we're not going to get through the whole body at this rate, which is why I multitask. So when I find an exercise, I alter it so it does lots and lots of things. You know that, girls, don't you? And that's why I do it. Otherwise, we're going to be all day. All we're doing now is this. Whereas if I was doing this in my normal class, we'd possibly be doing a squat as well. So we're working more muscles. And relax it off. Now, the best way to stretch it off, and especially this is for anybody who's been on their computer all day, arm out in front, bend the palm down and gently pull it back towards you. So I've actually got the top of my palm level with the ceiling, and then I bend it down, and that's what's stretching that bit there. And breathe. Now turn it over, so palms to ceiling, and then bend it down, and that's got us stretching that bit. So I'm pulling it back with my hands. Lovely. Shouldn't hurt. And then the same the other side. So I've got my palm to the ceiling, and then I bring my hand back to stretch this top, all these top muscles in my forearm. So if anybody's had tennis elbow or golfer's elbow, this will be one of the exercises you'll have been given. And now palm to ceiling, and then bend it down without hurting it. And we're going on to triceps next. And because we're only doing the triceps, the rest of the body can quite relax. Shake it off. So I'm going to sit on the floor with my knees bent because it's comfortable. And I want my hands with my fingertips pointing towards my feet, but I want my hands behind me. If you really can't, if you have to turn your hands round, you're going to be using different muscles. So you do want your hands pointing forward. Now, don't slouch because you're going to be strengthening these and stretching these. We want to keep the shoulders, chest proud, shoulders down and back. And all we're going to do is gently lower ourselves down by bending the arms, and the elbows have to stay behind you. So in other words, if the elbows are coming out to the side, you're using your shoulder muscles. If you keep your elbows pointing the back, then you're using your triceps, which is fantastic. So we slowly lower down and slowly come up. Now, I know some of you have got really strong core, most of you have got really strong core, and you could be using your belly to lift you up because you can. But I don't want you to. I want you to put all the weight in those shoulders and only use the arms to lift you and lower you. And then you won't do many. And if anybody's really finding that way too easy and you have to do 750 to make effect, just lift your bum a fraction off the floor and then lower them down. You don't have to do many of those. Somebody's just trying to come in. Bear with me. Keep going. Okay, well, I can't see you, Jane, by the way. I can't see you, Jane. I hope you can see me. So that's it looks really easy, but if you're using just your triceps to do all the work, it isn't easy at all. Chest proud. And rest when you need to, please, always rest when you need to. Okay, to stretch your triceps off, very specifically, take your arm above your head, put your fingertip on your elbow and drop your hand behind, but we put our fingertip on our elbow so we don't move it, so it doesn't dip down here or go anywhere else. So your hand drops down behind, and then you just give it a very slight tug, not into pain. And that's what stretches off your tricep. And we're going to hold that. And hold it. And then release it down and shake it off. And of course, we do the same on the other side. This one I know is always tight for me. So you take the arm up to the ceiling, fingertip on the elbow, drop the hand down. And then give it a slight tug till you feel a nice stretch. Now, when we do the stretches, remember you go to mild tension only, never, ever, 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 ever into pain. And then the next exercise, our warning, will be the waist. So we're going to do wipers, and I want everybody to do the stretch first with their feet on the floor. No matter how strong you are, we always do one together first. That's the stretch. Release it down. So to do the waist, we're going to be lying down on the floor. I'll show you. Can you see the whole of me? Give me a thumbs. Yes, thank you. So you lie on the floor with your arms out to a T, feet together, knees together. And we're going to inhale, and as you exhale, we take the legs over to one side. It's a really nice spine stretch, back stretch, but also for the waist. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, bring the legs back up. Inhale at the top and exhale over to the other side. So if anybody's got any back issues, which I know at least one of you has, then I want you to carry on doing that. I don't want you to progress to the next level. But anybody who doesn't have any back issues, you know the score now. You can take one leg to tabletop. Inhale, brace, take the other leg to tabletop, and now you can do your wipers up there with your feet off the floor. Gently, gently, gently. Let me watch you. And inhale and back up to the middle and off to the other side. Brilliant. Now remember, your legs are the lever, and physics tell you that the longer the lever, the heavier it is. And I know some of you now are doing that, so well done. So Andrea, one foot, when you come over to one side, the other foot will have to come off the floor. Imagine your bunion bones are glued together. So you bring the legs over to, that's it, perfect. And Georgia, I would, after the next one of each side, I would go back, because you're sort of, it's like you're tiring now. So I would go back to bent legs a little bit for the next couple. And remember to rest when you need to. looking good. Perfect position there at Tanda. Can't see you at all, Jilly. And Alison, your screen's gone funny again, like all lines across it. And Jane, I hope you're okay because I can't see you. Brilliant. So if you even it up so you've done the same amount on both sides, and then we go back to the very first thing we did, which was feet together, knees together, and take the legs over to the side, and we're holding it there now because we're doing it as a stretch. So your one foot's off the floor on top of the other one, and you look across the opposite hand, so you've got a full spine twist. You're stretching the waist. It shouldn't hurt, should be lovely. Big inhale, big exhale. Big inhale, big exhale. And again, big inhale, big exhale. Now bring the legs up to the middle, bring the face up to the ceiling, and off we go to the other side for a full spine twist. And relax. Should be lovely. Look across the opposite hand. I'm just going to look at you. Carry on. Keep breathing. Lovely. Jill, you've gone a long way there now. That's brilliant. And back up to the middle. Super. We're going to do our backs now. And to do our backs, we're going to be on our front. And your forehead's on the floor and your hands are on the floor, but the backs of your hands are on the floor. Feet are together. Give it a wobble. And then we're doing dart. So to do dart, you first of all have to engage your core always, which gives you a slight pelvic tilt, and so that gets you a neutral spine. So first of all, you inhale and you brace your core. Then as you exhale, you bring not your face, but your upper body, and take the shoulders behind and breathe, and then exhale down. So you inhale, prepare, exhale, lift, inhale at the top, and exhale down. And keep that movement going. Inhale to prepare, exhale to lift, inhale at the top, and exhale down. Now, some of you don't have back issues. You can use lift your legs as well, which I've got to say then brings your bum into it, but I never said that. Back we're doing. And of course, remember that you can take 2 whole breaths at the top to make it more difficult again. That's another progression. As long as you're not looking forward, you're looking down at the floor. Lovely job. Your feet look great, Claire. That's all I can see. Oh, I can't wait till we can meet again. Do you know, at the end of the month, we could be outside, but I don't know how we can do Pilates outside unless we do lots of HIIT. Still be Pilates, but it will have to be HIIT to keep us warm, I think. Don't forget to rest when you need to. And when you do need to rest, we go into child pose. So as you lift, Jilly, take your arms as though you're trying to cross them over your bum. You won't get them to your bum, but as though that's it, as though you're trying to. It really opens up your chest as well. Fantastic. So you can see why that one's called dart, can't you? Brilliant. Rest when you need to in child pose. Brilliant. So this is really good in that it's better than Facebook because at least I can see you and correct you. But I mean, for example, Ollie, I can't, Georgia, I can't see you at the moment, but or Alison, but it's better than not having Teams. That's all I'll say. Okay, so if everybody goes back into child pose, what you're doing then is stretching your back the other way, which is just lovely, and relax and breathe. And if you squash your ribs down onto your thighs and take a big inhale, your ribs can't expand like they normally would, so the backs of your ribs have to. Now, it's very rare in a day that you will ever get the backs of your ribs to expand like that, so enjoy it, feel it, and enjoy it. If anybody's not getting that, please just put your heads up. But it is really nice to stretch some completely different muscles. And breathe. Okie dokie. We'll move on now to the legs. We're going to do the outer thigh specifically and the inner thigh. Okay, to do this, we need to be in side lying series. So, I will be lying with my ankles on the back of the mat, my knees on the back of the mat, my hips on the back of the mat. I'm relaxing my upper body, but my shoulders on the back of the mat. And I know I'm in a straight line now because I'm actually on a line. But I will show you side on. So I'm in a nice straight line. I've got my feet flexed. I've got my hand in front so I don't fall over. And I simply inhale, and as I exhale, I'm lifting the top leg. If you turn your toe towards the ceiling even a fraction, you're using the wrong muscles now. You're targeting the hip flexors at the front. So you need to keep your foot facing the way, as in the outside of your foot parallel with the ceiling. And you lower it down and you take it back up again. So we're going to do 10 here at this speed. All the time you've got your core engaged. Imagine you have a candle under your waist on the floor, so that will lift this waist slightly off the floor. Make sure you don't turn the foot at all to the ceiling. Lovely. So Andrew, it might be the angle of the camera, but it does look like you're actually leaning back a little bit. Make sure one hip's on top of the other. Now, I don't know how many you've done, but we're going to stay at the top now and pulse, 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 pulse. As high as you're at the highest point and you're pulsing. And if you turn your foot at all, you're using different muscles. So keep that foot that way around, keep the hip on top of the other. Now we're going to do 5 slow. Lovely. And then we're going to do 5 pulses at the top. Both legs are straight now. That's it. Fantastic. Now the simple way to stretch that off, as you know, girls, is to just drop that knee to the floor and bash those side legs, just to get the blood flow back, because it's killer. And then we have to do the other side, of course. So we roll over. Again, setting up is the critical part. My legs are straight. My hips are on top of each other. My ankles are on top of each other. We're all in a straight line. I'm resting my head on my arm like a pillow. And I just lift the top leg and lower it. So you can have your hand on the floor. So I know some of you pros here. You can take your hand off the floor. Yeah, I know you know this already. Carry on going. Pushing away through the heel. Lovely. When you've done 10, I want you to do 10 pulses at your highest point. So keeping that foot forward. And then 5 slow and 5 pulses. You're looking fab, I got to say. Remember that candle under your waist. And then 5 pulses at the top. And drop the knee to the floor. So I'm saying this for Andrea's benefit. We normally do a lot more reps than this, but we've got a lot of body parts to get through. We're not going to do it. Okay, now we're going to do the inner thigh. So we're staying exactly the same position, and luckily you have the knee on the floor already. So flex your foot. So you know pointy foot, the opposite of pointy foot is flexed. And we're going to raise that heel, as though you're trying to get the heel first. Heel first, nice and slow. Through. So this is massively working your inner thigh. And I'm resting my head down, so the rest of my body is having a nice old rest. So I'm on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now let's do 10 pulses. Oh, this is where it kicks in. Wow. And now 5 slow. So I've only got my head up because I'm watching you. You can relax your head down. And I finish by 5 slow, so I do 5 pulses at the top. Wow. And lower it down, and we're going to do the other side. So roll back to the first side, setting yourself up again in a nice dead straight line, but now that knee is on the floor. And inhale, as you inhale, brace your core, remember, and then lift slowly, bottom leg. And 2, 3, 4. Can you see okay, Andrea? 5. Yes, great. I'll do it this way on now. And then you do 10 pulses at the top. And then 5 slow. So it's the bottom leg that's moving, top leg is still. So if you straighten both your legs, Andrea, and then bend your top leg and put the knee on the floor in front of you. Yeah, and now we're lifting the bottom leg with your foot flexed. That's it. Brilliant. So look, Tanda, I can see already what you're trying to do is move more muscles at once because you want to multitask. I don't mind, but you get my point. When I try and multitask, I try and invent an exercise based on Pilates exercises that uses loads of muscles. But no, today we're doing one muscle. Okay, when you've done your 5 pulses, we need to stretch that off. And the most elegant way not to stretch that off, take your legs in the air and open them. And that is stretching your inner thighs already. And breathe. Now bring them back together. Flex your feet. So this is pointy feet, this is flexed feet. And take them wide again. Maybe a bit wider than before. And bring them back together. And we're going into bums now. Okay, so shoulder bridge. When we do shoulder bridge, if you don't take great care and concentrate and you end up using your back and your arms to help you, we want to make sure we use on your hamstrings. We just want to use just the bum. And the best way I can explain to do that is relaxing the arms on the floor. Your neck is lengthened. Do a slight pelvic tilt before you go up, which I know I tell you anyway. I say pelvic tilt, then peel one vertebrae off. But what I want you to do is do a little pelvic tilt and then take the whole lot up, squeezing your bum as you go up. I want you to inhale at the top and exhale flat down and then relax your bum. Can you feel the difference? So squeeze your bum, pelvic tilt, now lift. And what that's doing is it's really stopping your back doing all the hard work, and it's taking a lot of the pressure off your hamstrings as well. And then inhale and then exhale all the way down. Right, the progression, of course, is to stay up for longer. So you can squeeze your bum, slight pelvic tilt, lift off the floor and stay there and breathe. Now, I'm going to do this for a whole minute. You don't have to, honestly, because I know we're all different. And I know some of you are new to my class. But and anybody wants to join me, off we go now. Squeeze, slight pelvic tilt. My bum's doing all the work. And we're doing it for a minute. We've only got 49 seconds left. You don't have to do this, honestly. You can just go up and down as you work. This is a bit of a killer. If by the way anybody gets cramp, get the legs straight as soon as you can and flex the foot. Don't wait for it to really bite. So this is a great time to think about your pelvic floor, except I didn't say we were going to do that. Yeah, do that as well. Think about your pelvic floor. You're allowed to. 19 left. Come on. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow. See the difference of staying up there? Just pull one leg in slightly and then swap. And then guess what? We're doing it again. If you need to rest now in the next one, just hug your knees into your chest and roll around on your spine. But otherwise, try and do as much of the next minute as you can do. Missed it. Are we ready? So inhale, pelvic tilt. Now lift the whole lot off the floor, keeping that bum really clenched tight. I'm just going to have a look at you. Really clench the bum, clench the bum. While you're here, think about your pelvic floor. Now, some of you know the progressions, so you can, if you want to, put your feet close together. But if your feet are close together, your knees have to be clamped together as well. So don't mind either or, but not half and half. Brilliant. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Nearly there. 15. Nearly there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Relax down. Gosh. Now what I want you to do now is stretch. One leg out straight. Hug the other knee tight into your chest. And I'll turn around so you can see. Hug your other knee tight into the chest. And then just take that knee slightly across the body, and then you'll feel that stretch in the bum. So if you're trying to lift the hip up, you'll get the spine twist again that you had before. But keeping the hip on the floor and just moving the leg across the body is what gives you that bum stretch. And anybody who's ever had sciatica, this will be the one for you. And what you'll notice is as you exhale, the muscles relax and you can go a tiny bit further. Right, now push it back up to the ceiling and swap the legs over. We don't stand a chance of finishing the whole body off with this. Too slow this way. Right, pull the knee tight into the chest. When you've found your nice sweet spot, take the leg across the body slightly, leaving that hip on the floor. Come here, look at you. Leaving the hip on the floor, leaving the hip on the floor. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All I can see, Alison, is your foot. And Georgia, all I can say is you've got a nice bookcase. Brilliant. And take it back. Smashing. Right. Hips. The hard work for the hips is the single leg circle. Now I want everybody to do a mini one first, and some of you to stay mini. So to do your hip circles, bring one leg up to tabletop. Now this isn't about the whole, this is nothing about the knee moving, this is only about the hips. So your leg stays locked in that 90-degree position, and you do 3 circles one way, small ones, and then 3 circles the other way. This is just to warm up the hips so they know what's coming. Swap sides. Bring the other leg to tabletop, which means 90 degrees, 90 degrees, foot's flexed, 3 circles one way without the knee joint opening or closing, and 3 the other way. Let me see, let me see, let me see. Did you get that, Andrea? So what's happening is, you've got your leg at 90 degrees, and the hip is what does the circle, not the knee. Right, so you can carry on doing exactly that, and some of you I know should only be doing that, but for those of you who can progress on, you straighten the leg and you do as big a circle as you can, keeping your back on the floor. If your back comes off the floor and arches, you need to go back to what you were doing before. Lovely. So you're going to as big a circle as you can, whether your knee's bent or straight, the biggest circle you can without any pain. And it's not too quick. So basically it's an exhale as you take the leg out and an inhale as you bring it back in. Smashing. And then change direction. Still got your core engaged, your upper body should be relaxed, back is being eased down to the floor, other leg is relaxed. Okay, change your legs. Take the other leg straight if you're doing straight, or knee, tabletop if you're doing tabletop, and take it all the way around. So this is the speed. Inhale up and exhale all the way down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. You okay, Jilly? Going for a wee? You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just shutting the door because it's freezing.
Oh, no, that's going to give us an idea of what it'd be like to be outside then, I suppose. Change direction. So nice and slow and steady. Brilliant. So the stretch I'm going to give you for this, although I find that to be a stretch in itself, I've got my knees together, my feet together, arms out to a T, relaxed, and just let the knees drop open. So that's an inner thigh stretch as well, but relax. So we've only got the lower leg to do. But we're already, what I'm going to do is go straight to the feet. Because this is a really good exercise. You can do this anywhere. You can do it when you're sat on the loo. So drop a piece of toilet paper on the floor when you're sat on the loo, but you've got tea towels and things now. So every time you go to the toilet, and you've got no shoes on, that is, so drop your toilet paper on the floor, and then you screw your foot up to pick the toilet paper up. Lovely. I don't know if this is possible with socks on. Let me have a look. So you can do, wow, brilliant. Yes, you can do this everywhere. You can do this on the toilet. You can do it with a napkin on the floor while you're eating food. For anybody who's got bunions, me, this is a really good strengthener. And anybody who's had plantar fasciitis, you'll know about that. Crikey. Then this is another good one for you. And I just keep doing it while I'm talking. And now I'm going to swap feet. This is definitely one you can do while you're watching telly, isn't it? No?
Good.
So if anybody doesn't know me that well, my dog isn't here because she's looking after her puppies in the other room. Right, so to stretch off from that, the easy way to stretch, can you see my feet? I'm just going to curl my toes under and lean back on them. And that's stretching them the opposite way. So I do get cramp when I'm doing yoga and things. My feet get cold and I do get cramps, so I have to do this quite a lot. So we missed basically the legs. We went straight from hips down to feet. So we use in everyday life, you use your quads and your calves anyway, I suppose. But I knew that there wouldn't be time. So I'm going to unmute you all, I think, now, just so we can all talk. If you can unmute yourself, that's great as well. That's it, brilliant. Just you, Georgia. So is everybody okay?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Nice,
Very
Carol.
good.
Sorry, I was confused. I thought it was a 6:30 start.
6. Yay. I saw you there, but I can see. Can you see me?
No, my camera doesn't work on Teams for some unknown reason.
Oh, all right. That's got to be down to settings. Are you on a laptop?
Yeah.
Got to be down to settings. You've probably not got your camera turned on.
Well, they've tried it from work and they can't get it to work either, so I have no idea.
Oh,
Hi, Andrea.
hi. Hi, Julie.
Hello, lovely.
But Jane, you know all the exercises anyway, so how did you get on with me describing them?
Yeah, because I can see you. That's not a problem. I can see you.
Oh, there you go then. You're just shy.
No, I can see you.
Brilliant. Well,
as I say, it's just the time that confused me because I was expecting it to be 6:30. I hadn't realised you were 6 o'clock start.
Oh, luminette. You know, next time.
I will, yes.
So what we're going to do now is hopefully I'm going to end the recording. Not that I'm crossing anything. Blimey. Stop recording. Stop recording.